Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green, and we are in the semifinals of the League Cup. This is the second leg of our home-away match against Aston Villa. We won the first leg 2-1, so we need to not lose today. The standard Swoodilypooper 0-0 draw would take us through to the final, where we will, in all likelihood, be meeting none other than our hated rivals Manchester United in the League Cup final. We want to win the Carling Cup this year because we want to win all of the trophies. Picture that meme, and I'm holding up all of the trophies. I'm holding up the League Cup, and I'm holding up the FA Cup. I'm holding up the Euro League trophy, and I'm holding up the Premier League trophy. By the way, Swindon Town Swoodilypoopers in white today. We're away to Aston Villa. Usually, I put on the Swindon red even when we're away. But today, I thought we'd mix it up. Bald John Green was advocating for a little bit of bringing a little bit of style back to the Swoodilypoopers, and I think that his red boots look better when we're wearing white. By the way, in a stirring turn of events, it's raining in England, so that was unexpected. Today, I'm going to talk about NaNoWriMo. Apparently, the boys forgot that we are not allowed to give up a goal today. By the way, our starting keeper, even though it is January, the transfer window continues to be Fat Lucas, 43-year-old Fat Lucas, starting in goal for the Swoodilypoopers. Look at his beautiful red boots. Because El Campuccino, he's just not ready for the English game. And I've made a bunch of bids on keepers to try to get a new keeper of some kind in the 70s, hopefully, but with the speed and acceleration that we need to succeed. But so far, everyone has turned me down. I don't know if I have a reputation for being a bad manager of keepers, or if the smack I talked about El Campuccino after he failed to bring in a single. Oh, not your best work there. That's not. Oh, Ball John Green, you got to get that off the back of the heel and into the front of the foot. I'm going to talk about NaNoWriMo today, even though I realize that we're 13 minutes into the game and I haven't talked about what I'm talking about. But there's a lot of stuff going on with the Swoodilypoopers. So I'm trying to get a keeper, but I think word must be out in the goalkeeping community that I'm not a very good manager of keepers. But I mean, Fat Lucas is a great goalkeeping coach, so I don't know why. I don't know. Anyway, I'm hoping that we'll get someone by the transfer deadline window. We do have one new player, however. His name is W. Flood. I figure you guys could do something with that, but I don't know what. So yes, I don't know, Wes Flood. But anyway, he's pretty good. He's a 71. And we needed a little more. I felt like we needed a little more in the midfield in order to. He had the entire back post, but we didn't have anybody there. We needed somebody camping out on the back post that went right over the Villa keeper's head, but all for naught. So, yes, that is the situation. I don't think. I mean, I still have a little money in the transfer budget, and I'm probably just going to get one more player just so we can have some injury insurance. I mean, I really worry. I mean, we're just so bad at the end of the season because our guys are so. Off the post! Off the goal! It's cleared off the line. Are you kidding me? Oh! Aston Villa lives to fight another day. My goodness. It's cleared off the line. It was off the post. Everything that could have happened happened. I am going to talk about NaNoWriMo today, I promise. NaNoWriMo, I guess. National Novel Writing Month, not National Novel Reading Month. But yeah, that I think you're up to date on the situation with the Swoodilypoopers. What? How is that a foul against me? That's ridiculous. I'll show you what fouls look like. You don't watch out. Fat Lucas? You may be necessary. Fat Lucas! Why do we even need another keeper? Everyone's like, John, you can't win the Premier League with a goalkeeper who's a 50. But, I mean, again, you're failing to account for heart. All right. So, NaNoWriMo, it's November, which is the month in which many people write novels, also known as National Novel Writing Month. There are tens of thousands of people who participate in this insane project where they write a novel in a month, an entire novel, 50,000 words. Not always 50,000 coherent words, but 50,000 words. And I have friends who've been doing this for, the better part of a decade. My friend Sam, I don't think he hasn't missed a NaNoWriMo in many, many years. And I think it's awesome. I find it really, really inspirational that so many people take time away from their. Oh, it has to be, but it isn't. Other John Green. Oh, was that Santa Claus? I could have sung Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh, we were that close to a rousing rendition of Santa Claus is coming to town. You better watch out. You better not pout. You better not cry. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is scoring some goals. Oh, it's such a great song. Right. So, I have a lot of admiration for people who do NaNoWriMo. Have I ever done it? I've tried a couple times, like the zombie apocalypse novella I wrote. Zombicorns started out as a National Novel Writing Month project, but obviously I never finished it because I didn't make it 50,000 words. I mean, I think like the kind of writer I am, it just does not lend itself at all to NaNoWriMo because I'm so slow and I get really mad at myself, and I often find if I get too far ahead of my, like if I push too hard just for word count, it doesn't actually get me closer to a finished novel that I'd be proud of, and so that's a big issue for me. Like I'm always trying to, I think like the goal of a lot of NaNoWriMo people is just to like build time into your day to write, to like find time to write and then get a draft together that you can then revise. I think my revision process is so different from most writers that it doesn't work as well because my revision process, this is perfect. 0-0 is the ideal score. So yeah, I don't think we can give up one goal though because I think they have an away goal because it was 2-1 and we are in their stadium. So Stuart Downing's on. So I don't think we can give up an away goal. So we need to keep it at 0-0. 1-0 will not be a good score result for us. Ideally, we'd just score a goal and then, there won't be any problem. And there we have a guy. He was open. Oh, I didn't get it to him in time. I should have crossed it early. I apologize to my friends and family. So I don't think that NaNoWriMo is necessarily like. I mean, that said, I might try it again because I really enjoyed it, and it is sort of liberating. A lot of writers say this. It's liberating to focus on just writing instead of focusing on trying to write well. And I do always try to give myself permission to kind of write poorly, like to not make it all about, making sure that every word I write in a first draft is publishable. That's not the goal at all. Speaking of the goal. Ball! John Green to other John Green is a beautiful goal. Show me a dance. Do me a little dance. Oh, yeah. John Green's ball. Another John Green's. They're the best forwards that Swindon Town has ever seen. Yes. I mean, look at it. He's so strong. And then there's so much excitement right now because that means that now we can give up a goal. Not that we will because we got Fat Lucas on the case. I mean, you guys are telling me that he's not the keeper for the stretch run of the Swindon Town Swoodilypoopers in our final season. But I have to tell you, he seems like the right keeper. I mean, he's acting. He's turning in clean sheet after clean sheet. Like, he seems like he's the man for the job. Unnecessary slide tackle. I apologize to my fans. Right. But I have really enjoyed it in the past, and I think it is one of the best ways to get teenagers writing, and also like teenagers writing, not just writing, but writing, novel length work, which is great practice. Like I think, and I also think it's nice to see some focus on writing instead of just focusing on publishing. I think too often writers are too focused on publishing in a way that that like. Particularly early in their careers or their practices, musicians aren't. Like musicians don't pick up a violin and say like I'm going to play Carnegie Hall tomorrow. And that's I think writers need to give themselves that apprenticeship, that time to apprentice and learn. And I think writing a novel in a month can be a really helpful way of doing that. So I've written NaNoWriMo pep talks before. There will be a link to one in the doobly-doo. That you can read, and you can hear my ball John Green. He was like it was like a pick, like in basketball, where he just couldn't quite get back far enough. And the Swoodilypoopers all of a sudden are just there's no two ways about it. We're dominating. Green. Yes. No. It was I was trying to be a little too fancy. I apologize. This is fancy. This is So. So you can read that, but my basic words of advice for people trying to write a novel in a month is that you're going to have to write every day. Because once you get behind, it's going to be very difficult. I don't usually try too much to encumber myself with word counts, but I definitely am conscious of how many words I've written each day. But it's very rare. I think you have to write 20. I'm really bad at math. What do you have to write? 1,700 words, 22,000. I don't know. You got to write a lot of words per day in order to make NaNoWriMo work. In order to finish the novel in a month. But it is doable. I mean, there have been days when I wrote that many words, there have definitely been days in my life where I wrote 2,000 words. And, when I was writing, after many failed attempts, when I was writing the first draft of The Fault in Our Stars, I wrote a lot of that book. I wrote a lot of 2,000-word days. Now, most of that stuff didn't end up in the final book or anything. And that's the thing. That's the other thing I would encourage NaNoWriMo writers is you need to. I really think it's worthwhile not just to try to. Oh, Fat Lucas! He's saved by the post. Oh, Fat Lucas! He's unbeatable. It's mostly because they miss, but the reason they miss is because he is such a large presence in goal, and I mean that in both the literal and the figurative senses. Oh, ball John Green is dispossessed at the last moment. And then an angry, somewhat late slide tackle, but there's no foul. All right, that was other John Green being angry for his husband that didn't work out, because it could have been. It's always nice when they both score, because then they can go home and they both have things to celebrate. Not that they're selfish in that way. Oh, it had to be, but it wasn't. I waited. I waited 1 second too long. Oh, anyway, good luck at NaNoWriMo. Look at our opponents squatting in shame, and congratulations to the Swindon Town Swoodilypoopers, who are heading to the Carling Cup final. We're going to play Manchester United. We're going to beat them. Man, other John Green needs a haircut. He looks like a 1970s Canadian. Thanks for watching. Best wishes.